Hello guys, how we doing? Okay, well today it's going to be showing you some things that I've had that I found around my house. I have a basic sketchbook. It's one of those like light spiral bound books. It's what I've been doing most of my demos in. Some of the students were wanting to know what were some of the supplies I've been using. This is one of the quick supply. It works really well. The paper's fairly thick and it seems to work for watercolor drawing and charcoal. So if you have one of these, it's great. But like I said, notebook paper is just fine as well to use. Another thing, I went to um, trying to find things for my demonstrations, and one of the things I found at Target seemed to work really well was this. I thought this was a pretty good brand of paper. It has a lot of assortments in here. And I figured this would work really well for what I'm trying to do for our projects. Now, if you can't find this at Target, there was like 5 or 6 of these at the local Target I was at. So I know that this might disappear quickly. There were some varieties. There weren't all this many, but I thought when I looked at the side of it has a fairly good amount of colors, and I'm able to do one of our final projects with this paper, and I'm going to be doing a project with this. Now, the other thing that I found. And that paper was about, so this right here, this was about, I think it was about 20, no, it wasn't even that much. I think it was about $15, 11 to 15. I can't remember the exact price. I do know that this Sharpie set right here of assorted 18 count Sharpies was $9 at Target, and they had a whole bunch of these. I thought this would be a really good thing to use if you don't have your colors or your paints with you. Another thing I bought, these were actually very inexpensive. This whole set of marker or pens was this one was $6. So I thought this was a great deal. Put the little barcode there in case you wanted to look for it. Okay. Then the other thing, paints were just hard to find. So I tried to figure out if I could find something that would work. I found some watercolored that were kind of like pencils, basically. You draw with it first, and then you use water to blend it in. So I'll do a watercolor pencil crown kind of thing, and so here's what it looks like, the brand. This was about, I want to say it was about $9. So all in all, I spent about $50 here and there trying to get some supplies. I'm not asking you to buy supplies. Now, I'm going to be doing my paper, and I will need some glue, so I got a glue stick. I got some giant ones. This was like $3. So now, say you can't go to the store like that and you're not comfortable, you can also go over to a Home Depot or Lowe's or any paint store that's open currently and go in and get the little swatches. Those little tiny squares that say Behr Paint and the brand and the color of the paints. And you can just get an assortment of colors like I've gotten here. I would go for the larger squares. The larger the square, the better it is, the more material you have to work with. It's all free. Take as many as you want, and if somebody asks you what you're doing, don't tell them you're doing a project. Tell them you're wanting to get a variety of paint colors and you're thinking about painting your house. They won't question you. Generally, they never question you. You can take as many as you need. Okay, just try not to get too many overdone. Okay, and that's free. That's totally free, and that's a great way to do our project as well. So this week I'd like you to start either A, using the paints you got, B, you go get a pad of paper like I found, and this was at Target. Okay, and if that's not in your price range, go to Home Depot, get the free stuff, and get as many of the color swatches as you can there. Okay, and so those are 3 options to get this project done. Now, another thing I also found. Now this was about a month ago that I found this, before all this incident came down. I found these, and I know that some of you students really do like colored pencils, but you hate the sharpening aspect. And so here, I got this unit. It came in this, okay? Came with a couple different graphites, a kneaded eraser. It was you can see it right here. It's $12.99 at Hobby Lobby. And so, and this right here of these colored sets was $6. I used a 40% off coupon on that, so I got that for $7. And what I like about this is how you replace it is you just take the little button, you press it down, and you put the little piece in, and when you need more graphite, you just lightly squeeze it, and then you can draw with it. If it's too much, you just lightly press down, and you can make this into a nice little drawing set. The only downside about this, it's really hard to sharpen this. So when you're trying to sharpen that point and get it down to a nice point, I would recommend just taking a little razor blade or X-Acto blade and give it to a point if you need it at a point to do that. But if you're trying to fill in large areas, this is a great little tool. Okay, so these are some of the tools that I'm going to be showing you this next week. If you can't find things, we'll talk and we'll work it out. Okay, like I said, this is something new, this whole process that we're going through, and I'm trying to make the best of it, since most of my supplies are also at school as well. So we're working through this and trying to figure out the best method of doing our projects. Okay, so I'm going to start recording my videos today, and you'll see them next week. Just to give you a little heads up, these videos take me about 10 hours to do. So I spend all day making videos for you guys, and I'm glad that some of you are really enjoying them. So again, these are some of the products that I've bought. So I'll put it at the very last bit here. So I'll put that up high. Papermate. And Sharpie, of course. Okay. And then these, if you can find them online, if you'd like to get those kinds of things. These are some of the things that I think will work well for our class. So at this point, I'll get started on our lesson. Remember, your grayscale analyses are due as soon as you get them done, and your grade portrait. Once you get them in, I will enter your grade immediately. All right. I'd like to have them by next week, or this week, if at all possible. All right. On that note, click down to the next video. Thanks.